Students, today we will start our same topic, Indian economy on the eve of independence. Before the start of this topic, we just recap our previous video. Previously we had discussed about the introduction of this chapter, origin of British rule, basic purpose of the British rule, what is the agriculture sector or what is the condition of the agriculture sector during the British period? What is the effect of the industrial sector, that is the adverse effect or positive effect in the industrial sector during the British period? And foreign trade, that is the monopoly controlled by the British rule in the foreign trade. And last is demographic condition. It means that during the British rule or British colonial period, what is the demographic condition of the India? Now, today we will start our next topic, that is the occupational structure. So, occupational structures refers to distribution of working persons across the different industries and sector. Occupation, it means the simple way, working. What type of job you are doing. So, occupational structures refers to distribution of working persons across different industries and sectors. In here, the sectors, it means primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sectors also. During the colonial period, the occupational structure of India showed the little sign of change. The state of the occupational structure during the British rule can be summarized like primary sector occupational, that is the dominant in the Indian economy. The agriculture sector accounted for the largest share of workforce with the approximately 7 to 75%. The manufacturing and the service sectors accounted for the remaining 25%. Less than 10% of the workers were in the secondary sector. Secondary, it means the manufacturing sector. Now the tertiary, when we are calling about the tertiary sector, that is employed nearby 15 to 20% workers only. So it means the predominance of the primary occupational at that time. Now next is the regional variation. That is a very important topic because of the regional variation that happens कि which type of peoples are working which type of sectors. The state of the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra and West Bengal witnessed in the decline in dependence of the workforce on the agriculture sector, with the commercial net increase in the manufacturing and service sector. However, during the same time, there had been an increase in the share of workforce in agriculture in the states such as Orissa, Rajasthan and Punjab. So that is the worry, the ratio of the worry, the percentage of worry with the worry of the states. It means the religion variation should be there. Some states having the manufacturing sector, it means secondary sector, they have the workforce, and some states have the agriculture or the primary sector, they have the workforce. So this is about the occupational structure with time of the British colonial period. Now next topic is infrastructure. As you know, what is the infrastructure? So infrastructure facilitates that during the British rule were the very poor. Some efforts were made to develop basic infrastructure like roads, railways, ports, water transport, posts and telegraphs. But the main motive behind such infrastructural development was to serve various colonial interests. The state of the infrastructure as the inherited from the British rule, like railway. When we are talking about the railway, the most important contribution of the British rule was to introduce the railways. In India, 1850, the railways affected the structure of the Indian economy in the two important ways. First, railway enabled people to undertake long distance travel. It broke the geographical and the cultural barriers and promote the national integrations. Second, it enhanced the commercialization of Indian agriculture, which adversely affected the comparative self-sufficiency of the village economic in India. So, railway was introduced in India in 1850 by the Britishers, and that is a very, we can say, very positive affected to the Indian economy. When we are talking about the next infrastructure facility, it is roads. The colonial administration could not accomplish much on constructions of roads due to the scarcity of fund. The roads that were built primarily served in the interest of the mobilizing the army and the shifting the raw material. It means that basically this is used for the Britishers only. Clear? There always remained an acute shortage of all weather roads to reach out to the rural areas during the rainy season. As a result, people living in these areas suffered badly during the natural calamities and the famines. Next facility is the communication facility. Post and telegraphs were the most popular means of communication. The instructions of the expensive system of electric telegraph in India served a purpose of the maintaining law and order. The postal services, despite the serving a useful public purpose, remain all through inadequate. And next facility is the air and water transport. British government took the measures for the developing the water and the air transport. However, their development was far from satisfactory because that is the use by the British government only. Now, when we are talking about the railway, that is one of the most important aspect of the infrastructure during the colonial period. So we just detail of this introduction of railway. Railway were introduced in 1850 in India. Positive effects of the railway on India is railways helped people to travel long distance. Thus, it promotes the national integration. Railway promotes the commercialization farming. Volume of the India's exports trade increased. Large number of people got job in railway. But when we are talking about the positive aspect, some negative aspect should be there. Negative effect of the railway on India. Railways helped British to collect the raw materials from interior parts of India and sell finished goods even in remote area. This resulted in the decline of the Indian handicraft industry. When we are talking about the declining handicraft industry, we already discussed this point. Introduction of railway promoted commercial farming. The villages lost their self-sufficiency. It means they are produce the cotton and jute. They can't produce for satisfaction. They are satisfied their basic requirement like wheat, rice, like this. They forced to give the which type of crop? Cash crop. Clear? Now, railway helped the British to move their army quickly and suppress the national movement. So, this is the negative aspect of the British infrastructure of the railway facility during the British colonial period. So, this is the scene or this is the scenario of the railways. Now, we just discussed कि if it is always that is the negative aspect of the British colonial period, when we are seeing the surroundings, some important facilities given by the British colonial time only. Fine. So we just conclude our that affect the areas, infrastructure or agriculture, occupational. We just conclude that first. By the time of the Indian one, its independence in 1947, The impact of 200 years of the British colonial rule was already showing on the all aspect in Indian economy. We already discussed all aspects. Clear? Now some conclusion points are like this. The constant per capita income over a long period. Next, increasing dependence of population on agriculture. The zamindari system, traditional method of the cultivation, high frequency of the feminines, destructions of the Indian handicraft, and inadequate industrialization. So the policy of the British government led complete the reign of the Indian economy. But when we are talking about the British colonial period, at least 2 years they are ruled in India. But there is some positive aspect also. So we can discuss the positive contribution of the British rule. Self-sufficiency in food grain production. It means commercialization of agriculture initiated by the British government resulted in self-sufficiency in food grain production. Next, better means of transportation. Development of roads and the railways provided cheap and the rapid transport system and open up new opportunity to economic and social growth. Next, check of feminines. Roads and railways worked as a great check of the occurrence and the impact of the feminines as food supplies could be transported to the affected areas in the case of the drought. Shift to the monetary economy. British rule helped Indian economy to shift from barter system to exchange. Exchange, it means exchange of goods for goods to monetary system of exchange. Effective administrative setup. The British government had an effective administration setup or system which served as a ready record for Indian policy. So these are the positive aspect or positive contribution of British rule. Some silent feature of Indian economic on the eve of independence are as follows. Indian agriculture sector was backward. Productivity was very low. Primitive methods of cultivation and the unjust land tenure systems were the responsible for the backwards of agriculture. Traditional Indian cottage industries declined due to the economic policies of the British government. The growth of modern industries was very slow. Population situation also showed the backwardness. Both birth rate and the death rate were the very high. Life expectancy was very low. Infant mortality rate was very high. India's occupational structure was unbalanced. Major sections of the workers was engaged in the primary sector only. The British rule converted India from the positions of the major exporter of finished goods to a major importer to finished goods. Our balance of trade was the favorable. Most of our trade was with Britain only. So there is the drain of the India's wealth also. The British government in India served the British economic interest only. They are not doing very much for the wealth purpose in India. India's wealth drained into Britain. India's export surplus was used for maintaining British government office and the fight wars. The British government collected heavy taxes or we can say tariff from the Indian people or we can say lagan also. India's treasures were taken to Britain. A lot of gold or ornaments and the precious stones were taken to Britain. They sold their goods in India and earned huge profits. Raw material were purchased at very low rates from Indians and exported to Britain. Some economic challenges on the eve of independence, that as the Indian agriculture sector was backward. Productivity was very low. Primitive method, the system were responsible for the backwardness, and traditional cottage already we had seen that Unemployment was the another major problem. Large number of the landless agricultural laborers remained unemployed. Literacy rate was low, infant mortality rate was very high, and life expectancy was low. Our occupational structure was unabled. Thank you. And today we just finished our first chapter from the Indian economic, that is the Indian economic on the eve of independence. Have a nice day. Thank you. Goodbye.